let's get with Raw, because Raw opened up with what people are saying.
Let me give you the report real quick. They did 1.75 million. They were up against Michigan, Alabama, which did 27.2 million, and then Washington and Texas did 18.
Yeah. No, they weren't. No. They were up against Washington and Texas. They were not up against the Michigan.
I thought Washington and Texas started at 9.
5 o'clock, 5:15. The other game started at 2 o'clock. The other game started at
8 my time. Okay,
right,
sorry.
Yeah.
All right, I don't know. That report listed it. And also when we get to it, Rock's segment, it jumped up 14%. So you had people clearly calling or tweeting about it, and people flipped the channel.
Yeah, when you get a massive audience on Monday night, or for Monday Night Sports thing, like the Monday Night Football, the final, you're going to get the potential for crossover people, switching over and watching wrestling, especially if there's a lull in the game and stuff. I'd actually, what I would actually like to see the metrics on what Raw's viewership was during halftime of the Washington Texas game, and I wonder if they timed The Rock's appearance on the show to come on at the halftime of the Washington Texas game. Joe, see if you can find that information from Brandon Lang or like anything that has that, because I would absolutely bet that during the halftime of the football game that Raw's viewership went up probably considerably. Would you agree with that basic common sense statement, Konnan?
Yep.
Especially if The Rock was on, right? So, like if your channel service, you see The Rock, it's like it's halftime of the football game. What are you going to watch? Maybe that's why that segment was so long.
Man, everybody's chanting number one, whatever.
Right? Yeah. It was like those were the longest segments I've ever seen. Well, we'll get to it, but like
I'll tell you that. Yeah. But just you might know offhand what around halftime was, but Jinder was on about 9:50, and Rock came out for the 10 o'clock angle.
Perfect. So. Well, no, but what about so that would have been. Yeah, that would have been about halftime of the football game, because the game started like 8:20, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, but bro, trust me, the WWE had to be thinking that, too. Like they're not stupid, with the numbers and stuff. Raw starts with Becky Lynch versus Nia Jax, and I watched the replay of this because I didn't watch it live because I was watching football games, but people were saying this was Nia Jax's best match that she may have ever had. I went back and watched this thing from start to finish. This was easily the best match that Nia Jax has ever had. It's good storytelling. She was, excellent psychology of big girl versus smaller girl, trying to a feisty smaller girl, just a good storyline. And bro, the finish was perfect. Like that punch that looked like it caught, like that
looked like an uppercut.
An uppercut that looked like it nailed it right. That was sold. It was a perfect finish. The way they did it, this was an excellent match, and the announcers they after the match they stayed in this like a shot of Nia going back and forth between Nia and Becky for well over a minute to 2 minutes, and the announcers were hyping up Nia Jax, like who's gonna beat this girl, like who's gonna, and that this was very well done.
And the best part of it, the visual of her bleeding,
right?
Because that was fake blood, right?
This got her. Oh, yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, it's my assumption.
This got her over. Like the attempt to get her over here was, done perfectly the way they set it up, and they executed to perfection. This is very well done, and it makes her look like
like a beast, like what she should have been.
Yeah, like Rhea Ripley's, because Rhea Ripley's just running over everybody right now.
Right.
And I'm wondering if they're like thinking because Rhea's getting cheered because she's so good. She's got no competition, so the fans still cheer even though she's a heel. But like they're looking at this like this is a good babyface heel dynamic that you can set up for 100%, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're a booker, you're going like, wow, this is good. I finally, you know what it's like? It looks like they finally have something good with the girls,
right?
Which they haven't had in a long time, right? Yeah. All right. So next is Cody comes out. San Diego, what do you want to talk about? He spoke about having the privilege of being the first wrestler to welcome viewers to the day one edition of Raw. And he said it's a new year and people like to talk about their goals in 2024. He said he's a little stuck on Shinsuke Nakamura. Cody said he expected something more sophisticated from Nakamura than his book reading. And Cody said he's stuck on Nakamura because this should be over. This is very good verbiage too, by the way. Because this is like Cody is being sidetracked by this guy. He's explaining, I am being sidetracked by this guy because this guy's sidetracking me, right? This is good verbiage. Right. And Cody said he was giving Nakamura the opportunity to finish things and called out Nakamura while saying it would end now. Dude, for years, we've always talked about Nakamura is not getting over because he doesn't speak English. When he sounds like he's trying to speak English, he sounds stupid, right? These are some of my favorite parts of the show, these promos he does. with the subtitles. These are very well done. So he appears on the big screen. The subtitles are used. Well, he spoke about how he never
well
thought
produced.
Well produced with the bro. The art on the cartoons is excellent.
Right.
I wonder who
The
was
anime.
writing.
Yeah.
Who was doing that? Like doing that anime, that cartoon. Like they must have some good. Well, it's professional wrestling, so we know like a lot of the writers are cartoon marks. So probably a lot of the guys are pretty good artists too, and everything doing this stuff. But this is very professionally done. Nakamura said he blinded Rhodes so that he can't see the ending, but Rhodes' story would not end tonight. Nakamura said he wanted to give Cody one more week to dream, and Nakamura said he would finish the story and close the book, and then he sprayed red mist to the camera. This is very well. The verbiage in these are excellent on his promos. So what did you think of this, Konnan?
Yeah, they've done a fantastic job of making Nakamura interesting after so many years of wallowing in mediocrity and just bad booking, and him, because he was over with that entrance and the Michael Jackson crazy Japanese flair thing that he does.
Right.
But he wasn't any good storylines or any good feuds, And this is the first. Well, that was part of it, but they weren't doing cool with him either, like this,
Right.
Now they're doing cool with him, and he's producing.
Right, but I will say this: he was being booked as a babyface, but as a babyface, he kind of got to talk. His worst thing is when he talks, so he wasn't really getting over his babyface like he could have. But these vignettes work for a heel. Like this is good heel. I don't think this would work as well as a babyface because he sounds very. The producer is like he's a very evil character.
Ominous,
It's very, very well done. Like he's, like a diabolical guy, So, so Kofi and Jey
diabolical guy.
Well, that's what he's been doing. He's been attacking him from behind and stuff. And like that's what he's, it's a stereotypical
weird
like evil.
Yeah,
it is what it is. So. Kofi and Jey Uso against Ludwig Kaiser, Giovanni Vinci. Giovanni Vinci concussed. He did a springboard, drop kick, head banged off the mat really hard.
And they stopped the match.
Yeah, you didn't see this?
Yeah, they stopped the match.
Yeah, they stopped them. Yeah, then they stopped the match, which is what they should do. The guys and they announced the team that knocked them out as the winners, which is that's the way to get out.
Very well done. Good ad-libbing.
Right. Oh, by the way, you notice he was not on the show this week.
No.
I think Priest was not on the show, which lends me to believe. Konnan, try and find out if Priest got concussed that week from that finish from the Creed brothers. Text Dominic and see if you can get that information because he wasn't on the show, and I imagine I bet that's what happened because so this the Miz came out for Miz TV. Okay, bro, I was watching this and I was laughing my way through this whole segment because I thought this was very entertaining. The Judgment Day theme play, but they didn't come out. The music switched to R-Truth theme. He comes out wearing a shirt that he puts a piece of tape on that says, it has all the Judgment Day people and Truth. The Miz introduced Truth as the most likable member of Judgment Day, and then that's where everyone was. Truth looked around and said he swore they were standing behind him. Miz asked if he was seeing invisible people again, and Truth asked if little Jimmy was present. And Miz said no and told him to have a seat. Truth says he had something to do first. And
the people actually started to chant little Jimmy. It's incredible how they don't forget that character. Yeah.
Well, Truth invests in this character, and the people he's entertaining, and the people get with it, right?
But it was a while ago. I'm just surprised he still remembered. Yeah.
Right. So Truth said he had something to do first and did the All Rise for the Judgment Day. Miz said it was better the way Priest says it. Miz asked Truth what his role in the faction is. He said he was doing PR work.
Bro, that was the line of the night. Read that again. What Miz told him.
What's your role in the faction is? He said he was doing PR work, and previously he did the administrative work. He said
no. Before that, he goes. He says.
Miz said that it's better when Priest says it.
Right.
The Judgment, All Rise for the Judgment Day.
Right.
Miz was excellent in this too because he was eating this stuff because he's entertained by all this too. This was good stuff for Miz to work with.
Right.
So he said nobody likes Judgment Day, and he was trying to make them likable to everyone. Dominic and JD came out, and Dom said this near the end. Bro, the funniest thing about this is Dom had a lot of mic time on this, and the crowd would just hit the booze
was ridiculous.
on Were you laughing when you were watching this?
Yeah, because it was because they were going out of their way to be loud.
But like it was like audience participation. Woo!
Yeah.
So Dom said it needed to end. McDonough said Truth is not a member of the Judgment Day, and Dom tried to speak at ringside, but he kept getting booed. And then Cole said they don't even like him in his hometown. And Truth also pointed out the fans booed, and Truth said that wasn't right. Truth called McDonough losing to him in a loose sleeves Judgment Day match. And Miz says, yeah, that's right. The stipulation is very clear. That's McDonough what he's doing in the ring. Every time Dom tried to speak, he was getting booed out of the building, so he kept getting cut off. Then Miz said he couldn't hear Dom or the fans, even though Dom had a microphone. And Miz responded to what Dom said anyway and said the only memory of Dom from 2023 was him being spanked by his father. Then Miz also recalled Dom being whooped around the country by Punk on the Holiday Tour. Then Dom kept getting booed, and Miz asked the fans if they want to see a match, and the fans cheered. And Miz said it'd be Dom McDonough against the reunited Awesome Truth. And Truth says he's in Judgment Day now. I wonder if he was team with Dom. And Miz said, no, you're team with me. And Truth said, was this one of those strange bedfellows things? And then winked at Dom and accept the match on behalf of Judgment Day. So they go and do the match, and the gimmick in the match is that Truth still thinks he's part of the Judgment Day. So finally at the end, they do a deal where they're holding Miz, and they convince Truth to hit his own partner because he's part of the Judgment Day, and he goes to hit Miz, but Miz ducks, and he hits McDonough, and they hit him with the Skull Crusher finale, and they beat him. And the crowd popped this. This was very entertaining. It was corny, but it was very entertaining. The crowd ate it up, and the crowd. This was like the best. Besides The Rock, this was the best crowd response of the night. What do you think of this?
Yeah, 100%. They like Ronnie. They like Miz. You know, they were good together before when they were a tag team. Now they're reuniting. What's their name? The Hard Truth?
The Awesome Truth.
Awesome Truth.
Yeah. They used to be the Awesome Truth, right?
Yeah.
So they did a couple of video packages for Ivy Nile and Rhea Ripley leading up to this match, but they were good packages, but nothing in the packages led me to believe that Ivy Nile was going to beat Rhea Ripley. But they were well done. They showed Kaden Carter and Katana Chance celebrating at the club for their championship. Chelsea Green and Piper Niven showed up and said they were going to Adam Pearce for a rematch. Carter and Chance didn't mind because they said they'd be fighting champions, and they threw their drinks at Green and Niven, and security intervened. They threw the new and the new champions went back to celebrate with their title belts in the club. Do you get the idea that these are two club girls?
Not really.
When you're watching,
and here's the worst part that I was thinking, wow, they have them in a club. How cool is this? And I don't know I'm not sure how it was, but I think, and I'm almost sure that if you look at the music, it was like it was put in post. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was not well done.
You're Mike Konnan.
They haven't done a real good job with these two.
Well, let's be honest. If you're going to be club girls, you want to get over, you got to be a little more club. Just to be just they're not hating, just stating. By the way, the clip I listened to back then, the YouTube clip, Joe, I referenced when we were talking about the Julia. Who's the girl we were talking about? I mispronounced her name.
Julia Hart was up on the stage with Tony.
Julia, no, not the girl with the Giuli. Like I missed.
Giuli.
Japanese girl, right?
Giuliani, nothing.
Julie, whatever her name is, right? Bro, yeah. Hugely censored me saying. He censored out the words. Because they're saying that's me. I don't know.
He's very careful and protective of the chat.
He's like a snowflake as a censor.
He's editing like a snowflake, but there's a method behind the madness, you know. But I'll ask him why.
What is the method?
There might be a rule about.
You get you get downgraded if you do certain words pop up. You can get shadow banned. They do that. YouTube still does that. So Twitter doesn't. That's why we should start considering putting our shows up on Twitter.
I put up a test clip like a couple weeks ago around Christmas.
Did you really?
Yeah, I put up the Juicy Seal, like 7 minutes of it or so.
I'll
tell you in a minute. I'll get the number on that.
All right, cool. So Ivy Nile against Rhea Ripley. Actually, this girl Ivy Nile is not a bad worker because she's.
No, but bro, you know what? Here's stripping away everything. It literally looked like a woman against a teenager.
That's what it did. Yeah.
It's. I mean, maybe pass the eye test.
Maybe they're just
bro. She's too small. She looks too young. She's not physical enough. Ripley's too much of a beast for her. She needs to get ready for Nia Jax, like you said.
Right.
Or Puffer Niven, or what's her name?
Piper Niven, yeah.
Piper Niven.
Bro, the funny thing about this is the announcers were selling this match back and forth, but when they went into the finishing sequence where she hit her with the headbutt, gave her the gimmick, and then hit her with the thing.
Yeah, I like that.
Michael Cole had a great line. He said, "Thanks for coming," which is true. Thanks for coming. Like, this is never in doubt. So. Right.
It has 1,200 views. Which it is what it is, but Disco hasn't retweeted it, and
but that's up,
I'll just continue to do it like I'm doing with Rumble. And what do you think if I put up the clip we just did, the talks on Twitter? Like I don't want, I'm not trying to ruffle this guy's feathers, but that would get views.
Nah, just keep it on YouTube.
Okay,
for now
I'll just put up something from the mailbag or whatever. Yeah.
All right. So next, so after this, we had Seth Rollins backstage, and they were hyping up his match. So they showed a tweet that Hunter had said, former WWE champion will be at Raw tonight, and they built it up like anticipation, make it sound like it's going to be a big deal. Then Jinder comes out, and Jinder starts cutting kind of like a political promo. Where he's talking about misinformation and unity, and how divided the country is and stuff, and all that. And this for starters, this was a decently long promo. Then The Rock comes out, and the crowd went crazy, and it was kind of weird. I don't know what was going on in the entranceway, but they had a shot of Jinder, and I noticed that the fans behind Jinder, like about 30 seconds before The Rock came out, a bunch of fans were pointing towards the entranceway with their cell phones, like they knew something big was going to happen here, and they wanted to get the end. Go ahead.
This thing, Di, and then you'll know as soon as I say it, but from certain seats, if they're sold, you can look down behind the entrance, so you know who's coming out, and people were probably in that section. They started getting louder. They were going, "Hey, The Rock, The Rock!"
No. They probably saw it backstage, and then everybody's looking and they see them, so they start pointing their cameras there. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I don't want to go. Okay, so The Rock comes out, and bro, this was Konnan. How long was this? Did this exchange?
Very long.
Very long. I'm not even going to get into it because it's like just if you want to go back and read Jason Powell's. ProWrestling.net. It's like 9 paragraphs. So I don't want to bore y'all, but he just rips him apart. It's actually a decent exchange, but it was just excessively long. But at the end, he ends up giving the rock bottom and the people's elbow. He grabs. He says, told the fans he loved them, wish him a happy New Year. Said he's going to go out in San Diego and said he was hungry. He said he would go get something to eat. He asked if he should sit in a booth, if she should sit at the bar. Rock says he loves the bar. Then asked if he should sit at the head of the table. And the crowd just went crazy. Yeah, excellent. The crowd. It's just a perfect nugget, to start the new year heading into WrestleMania. And it's got everybody talking and says, "I love you too, San Diego." That's what I thought. If you smell what The Rock is cooking, bro, he was on fire out there. Like he was.
Very excited.
He has not missed a beat at all. So this was just good TV, but excessively, so long. I think this segment was like 20 something minutes.
Yeah.
From the time Jinder walked out.
I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah.
Maybe they lost, or they had to add a few minutes because of the injury earlier. Or something, I don't know. Or maybe they had Jinder.
Doesn't matter, bro. If you can get The Rock, he did massive numbers.
Right.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Cut it short? I was like, whatever.
Right.
And Jinder, I was one of those fans that was not a fan of Jinder, but that was he was money in that spot. I was like, this is great.
Yeah,
as I was watching him.
He was money before that. He was money the last time they were pushing him, they were booing him.
Yeah, I never got.
Remember Disco? We were into him back then.
Bro, you know what would be a good gimmick for him? To be kind of like a what's the word I want to use here? You know that guy, the podcast I showed you, that guy Patrick Bet David? He's this Iranian guy. He speaks very strong. He's got a very deep voice. He's a conservative guy. He's he's got a podcast that's very popular. So bro, you could turn Jinder into like a kind of like the promo he was cutting. Kind of like, a conservative, anti-American, voice and stuff and everything. Like, I don't know. Is this because he sounds very intelligent when he speaks, and he's a big guy with
and he looks
voice.
good.
Looks good too, and he's
got
Indian.
A good look.
And there's a lot of Indian fans out there. So
he's got a real exotic look. Yeah.
You know what?
Like a heel.
The thing about and this is just the way I was thinking. I was thinking while you guys were talking, if he did, he came out against Safe Space and all this. like that conservative kind of stuff. But the problem with that is a lot of the fans would cheer him too. Like, remember when Swagger and
No.
Dutch Mantell-
I think that they would not like him. You know,
Okay.
I just because he's not like it. The fans don't want to like him because they don't think he's a good enough wrestler to be on TV. So they would just, I think they would
No
just
matter
boo him
what.
anyway. You know what I'm saying? So this fan base. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So Drew's pacing backstage, getting ready for his match. This did not make it to Hulu, but Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark beat Tegan Nox and Natalia. I don't even know why. Is there some angle that they're doing with these girls? I don't even know why this happened here. Oh, Candice LeRae, and Indy Hartwell were shown watching this match on the backstage monitor. So apparently, I'm so uninterested in the women's stuff that I have no idea, like if there's any backstory or anything on this stuff, but there probably has. But Colin Baszler earned a future tag title shot, I guess, against the two girls, the two party girls. So, you got any comment on this, Conan?
I can't wait to see that.
Next week's Raw, CM Punk returns, Cody versus Shinsuke Nakamura. The two party girls versus Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. And
again,
I guess they showed a video package really painting Drew as a heel before this match. So we got the good dynamic of heel versus babyface. So Damian Priest was on this show. That's right. I forgot about this. Yeah. So it comes down. Damian Priest walks out. The Money in the Bank briefcase was accompanied by Dom. Priest had Dom distract the ref and then hit Rollins with the briefcase. Priest told the referee he was going to cash in. McIntyre ran over, hit Priest with a Claymore kick. McIntyre suplexed Dom. McIntyre performed a Claymore kick on Rollins. He missed him, by the way, but who cares? McIntyre had the pin, but Rollins' foot hit the rope while McIntyre was hooking his leg. McIntyre went to ringside and cleared the broadcast table. McIntyre brought Rollins and ringside onto the table. McIntyre set up for a move, but Rollins slipped away and performed a pedigree on the table. Very well done spot. Then we rolled him back in the ring, gave him another stomp, and beat him 1-2-3. This is once again they just very, very creative finishes for some of these main events. So what did you think of this?
Very well done, bro. Just very well done at everything. The timing, the finish, the work in it, the working the crowd, the selling, everything. It was very well done.
Yeah.
And then The Rock returns and Truth returns and reunites with The Miz, Cody cut a good promo. Yeah, it was pretty good. I was expecting Andrade to show up for some reason.